Brown, very quick, very athletic, very physical, something that Abrasamova last season really struggled with.
Cheryl speaking with Gino during shoot-around today. He said Abrasamova sometimes could sabotage his offense.
And he said it with a smile. Ball.
Stop the ball! Stop the ball!
Nicole Erickson, the 5'6" senior, handles the ball for Duke. And it is in Sue Bergham, the freshman out of Scios of New York, who played high school ball at Christ the King. She kicks it up to Swin Cash and wearing the white bow in her hair.
And Coach Gail Geston, of course, really wanted her team to settle down and really try to pound the ball inside and try to get Van Gorp off early. That hasn't been the case.
And it's Abrasamova again getting inside off the assist from Paige Sauer.
Because you said she has the ability to take over basketball games. That year maturity from her freshman to sophomore year really is starting to pay dividends.
And Coach Ariane has told us this afternoon that what they wanted to do early was trap Nicole Erickson, really try to cause some problems, force the turnovers like they were just able to do, Rich.
Well, I think they can afford to do that because they go 10, 11 deep. When you have that many athletes on your team, it doesn't matter who starts. It's really who finishes the games because you have waves of players coming in.
Well, think about it.
Paige Sauer for three.
Yeah. If UConn is able to do that defensively against a very savvy senior backcourt of Howard and Erickson, what confidence does this young team have the rest of the game?
And Duke losing the handle inside. Looks like we're going to get Amy Duran.
Reggie, the game plan very early on. UConn is just letting them get loose, defensively getting after it. They're really forcing Duke out of their half-court game. They want to try to extend it from inline to inline, force them to take some bad shots.
All right, this is the new rule. We're talking about the experimental rule, and that they have moved the inside defensive player up. She can now stand on the block, giving her what they feel is better position.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because it was such a disadvantage for the defensive player because they were out of position. The offensive player would move them underneath the basket. I like the new rule.
Again, this is only for the preseason, though. When you see a regular season game, they go back to the old rules. Cash, what a move!
I'll tell you something. Right there, I saw vision of Cheryl Swoops. I mean, slashing to the basket. That was a Cheryl Swoops move.
She is so quick. And here we go back to another one of those experimental rules, the hand checking.
I mean, look at Cash right there. Slicing, using her athleticism, kisses it off the glass. Boy, what an athlete.
Well, you saw enough of Cheryl Swoops this year. I'm surprised you even knew. You can remember that name.
Hey, I'm the only one who can say this. That move reminded me of Cheryl Miller,
well,
who had a few slashes to the basket in her day.
And I've been the recipient of a lot of them, okay?
In the backyard, huh?
What a bright future that Swing Cash has.
Abrasamova.
Oh, we got an injured player over there.
It looks like Peppy Brown went down.
Yeah, Peppy Brown is down, yeah.
Looked like it's the ankle or knee. If it was a knee, she'd probably be on her back. So it definitely looks like one of her ankles was twisted.
The trainer is Jen McCullum.
Trying to guard Abrasamova on the out-of-bounds play. Looked like she might have stepped on her foot or...
This is a big loss. She's a 5'11" junior from Silver Springs, Maryland. She got such great experience over the summer playing on the Jones Cup team that they were so excited about having her back this year with all that experience. And she's walking awfully.
Yeah. Wow, that's a great song.
Fluidly.
Yeah, but she's still walking.
Yeah, look how she's sitting there.
Well, what makes it even bigger was Coach Gail Gestinger said that she was the one that was going to match up with Abrasamova. And right now, Abrasamova looks like she's getting the better of Peppy Brown, and it could be even worse if she doesn't return to the ball game.
Naz Medhani has entered the game for Duke to replace Peppy Brown. Naz Medhani wearing number 5 for the Blue Devils. Well, she's got the ball now.
I'm not quite sure that's what Naz wants to do as soon as you get into a ball game is take an early shot. I think you kind of want to get some sweat dripping for sure.
You want to get into the flow, but you still have to give her a lot of credit for being aggressive. That time they were able to break the press of UConn, but they have to make sure that they knock it down.
Bird goes in, kicks it out to Svetlana. Rebound Cash, goes baseline underneath, dishes it off to Abramovsova.
Oh, you got to make them.
Doesn't get it.
Abrasamova's not shy. I love that about her.
Well,
most Europeans do look to score first and worry about defense another day.
Well, Reggie, you're not European.
Van Gorp stands 6'6". Sauer 6'5". Nice even matchup inside. Medhani for three, no go. Here comes Sue Bird, 1-on-2. She'll wait. Hesitation, pops up herself, no. Rebound up, Rosamova. Goes underneath. Over the board.
He is everywhere.
Over the board.
And this was a concern, Leander, coming into the game that I had for Duke. If they didn't shoot the ball well and if they didn't handle the pressure of UConn extending their defense the full court.
Amy Duran's lucky she didn't get called for that.
Right now, this Duke team just looks rattled.
Well, the Duke team is settling for the perimeter shot. Take that big dribble down.
Swing cash. She now has 6. And a timeout has been called by Duke and should be. Now, this brings up our timeout situation. This will be a full 1-minute timeout. We'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll explain how the new timeout rule works in this preseason.
So, how would you tell your boss if you were pregnant?
I think I'd have a little explaining to do.
Come on, help me out here.
There are days when a woman needs exceptional strength. Secret Ultra Dry.
You know he's going to wonder if you're coming back.
And I'll tell him I'm planning to, which I am.
All right.
Unless I decide to stay home.
Well, whatever you decide, we'll work that out.
The absolute best type of dryness protection there is. And pH balanced for a woman's chemistry.
Maybe we'll both stay home.
Let's not get too carried away, okay?
Video games don't just blast through your batteries.
More batteries.
They blast through your money. That's why you should arm yours with Rayovac Maximum Alkaline. They pack long-lasting alkaline power but cost less, so you can buy more games.
How about a little one-on-one?
Get the Maximum. Rayovac Maximum.
Listen here, baby. I'm only one a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Now you can get $750 cash back or 1.9% APR financing on a new 99 Sunfire Cooper sedan. A hot set of wheels with money left to burn. Sunfire. See it at your Pontiac dealer today.
Life's little problems. There are lots of ways to deal with them. You could try to avoid them. Take up a sport. Take a night off. Have a good cry. Or have a nervous breakdown. At Lifetime, we recommend watching Oh Baby and Maggie because they've got all of the above, and they'll make you laugh.
Laughter is very therapeutic, don't you think?
So laugh with Oh Baby and Maggie, only on Lifetime. Tuesday nights at 10 on Lifetime.
Welcome back, everyone, inside San Jose Arena. UConn leads Duke 16-2, and I'm here with Vanessa Nygaard, who played for the Stanford Cardinal, of course, and she's a member of the WNBA's New York Liberty. But, Vanessa, you had to start your rookie campaign with an injury, a knee injury. How difficult was that for you?
Well, it was hard, but, you know, what better place to be than New York City? It was a great experience, great organization, great team, and, you know, I think, of course, I could have hit some threes. We could have helped in a couple games, but, you know, I'm watching.
Yeah, your team made some changes in the offseason. They opted not to renew the contract of head coach Nancy Darsh. What are your thoughts on that move?
I think Nancy did a nice job, but it's a management decision, and I hope they pick a coach that likes three-point shooters.
Any idea what direction they're going to go in terms of Blaze's, you know, coaching choices?
Blaze is the guru, and whatever direction she goes in will be the best direction for our team.
Oh, she is well-trained. Let's send her back to the table.
Well, she knows who butters her bread. I'll tell you one thing. Had New York had her healthy, that would definitely have given them an extra weapon. That young lady can flat out shoot the ball, and she's hard-nosed and definitely suits. Her style of game definitely suits the WNBA.
Very quickly, a quick foul on Lauren Rice. That was her first for Duke. Duke shooting 0 for 5 from the field. And Connecticut keeps knocking them down. That was Paige Sauer. She now has 5 points.
UConn is really running their offense at a crisp pace right now, feeling very confident. The press is really distracting Duke.
Not only distracting, right? Absolutely rattle them. And what they don't get off the steal, whether it's a deflection, it's all about disrupting the flow of
Duncan. Now
Very class.
was that pretty?
When they extend their defense, is make the extra pass and do not panic.
And look who is in the game. My sentimental favorite, Shea Ralph. First time touching the ball. Drives in for the 2. And look at Swin Cash.
Everywhere.
That's great athlete.
And again, they're having a tough time making things fall on the Duke end of things. As we take a look at Svetlana dishing off the Swin Cash underneath, the freshman says, oh, this isn't my first time on the court. I'm a pro.
I've always
Invest.
Lifetime Tuesday for ME.
In this auditorium right now, glad to see number 33 back on the floor after 2 reconstructive ACLs. Cheryl, kind of explain to us, what is her thought process right now?
It's very difficult. I mean, when I went through it with my ACL reconstructive surgery, it was difficult. I mean, the injury is probably 40% physical, but it's 60% mental, and for her to overcome that twice says a lot about her integrity, her strength, and her mental toughness.
And it was the same knee twice.
Same knee twice. She missed the final 3 games of the 96-97 season, had the operation in September of 97, was able to come back last year, but opted not to, redshirted, and now she's back for the 98-99 season.
And any athlete that will tell you that's gone through a serious injury, it's not so much the rehab, it's the separation from your teammates. It's the loneliness. It's the loneliness. It's the part of not being part of a plan, of a team.
Yes. Absolutely. 22-4 is our score. Connecticut definitely in control in this, our first game of a twin bill here on Lifetime. Our nightcap features Arkansas against Stanford, but right now you are watching the number 3 ranked UConn Huskies demolish Duke. They need to regroup and get things together.
Yeah.
The number
and
14.
that's scary.
Yes. Shea Ralph.
Boy, they are really calling that new hand checking.
They have to.
The foul's on Erickson. It was Shea Ralph who got pushed.
Well, to tell you the truth, Cheryl, a lot of the coaches are not agreeing with this quick call on the hand checking.
Well, you know what? I mean, it's one of those. It has to be a split second. If you're just gaining or trying to get your balance, it's one thing. The officials know that. But they know when you're trying to apply a little pressure and guide the offensive player, that is an automatic foul.
So once again, the 3 rules in this preseason that are experimental is the hand checking, the lineup at the free throw, and the timeouts. Each team will get 4 30-second timeouts in addition to the TV timeouts. Duke with the rebound here. Here come the Blue Devils. That is another freshman we just saw come up with the ball. Krista Gingrich from McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
You got Tadika Williams in there, the Parade Magazine Player of the Year, Asia Jones, Amy Duran, a brand new 5 out there for Gino. They come in waves, he says. Doesn't matter who plays and how many minutes they play, as long as they play hard, because we trap too much.
Erickson miss turns into a Shea Ralph basket. She goes coast to coast. 4 points for Ralph coming off the bench. This is Schweitzer now. She has an injured knee. We'll see limited time. And the whistle.
You know what? Duke really needed that basket to go in. They need something to really try to sway the momentum right now. If I'm Coach Gail Gustencourse right now, I'm just trying to find an answer, trying to get people in there, trying to get my big player going in Van Gore. But right now, they are definitely out of sync. You have to slow the game down and try to turn this game to a half-court game.
Well, I understand what you're saying, Cheryl, but if you're going to try to slow it down when a team is pressing you, they're giving you the opportunities for 2-on-1, 3-on-2, so they're enticing you to shoot the ball quickly. Isn't that what Gino wants, an up-tempo game?
Gino does want an up-tempo game, but just because a team presses you, Reggie, doesn't mean that you have to be caught up in that up-tempo. You can take your time, you can be patient, and that's why I'm a little surprised that Erickson and Howard have not responded well to this pressure early on in this game.
Once again, we saw the unique lineup at the free throw. Shea Ralph again coast to coast. This time it doesn't drop. And Peppy Brown is back in the game, as you saw back there at the free throw line.
Asia Jones following up Shea Ralph's mess right here. Look at Shea Ralph. Doesn't look like anything is wrong with that knee right there. Penetrating into the lane, trying to just get the ball up on the glass, and On the Fab Five.
Reggie, they tried to sit up there, and she tried to, Shea Ralph tried to con us into saying, well, I'm a step too slower, or I'm not buying it. She
and I fell for it.
Yeah.
Like an idiot, I fell for it.
The foul was on Schweitzer. Again, she's a player with an injured knee who will see some limited playing time. This is Asia Jones from Piscataway, New Jersey at the line.
Well, the way UConn is playing right now, Cheryl, Gino, he wasn't too high on pressing all game. He said he just wanted to play man-to-man, but if you go 10, 11 deep with these kind of athletes, you've got to press.
Well, Gino was concerned that he was going to lose control, and so far that has not been the case.
All right, that foul was on Marcy Glennie, the sophomore from Lisbon, Connecticut. That was her first.
Duke is just having a hard time. Now look at UConn. They go back to their man-to-man. Don't want to show them all their pieces to the puzzle.
Well,
right
they can't
now.
press the full time, but now what Duke has to do is settle down, pound the ball in, and this is when Van Gorp has to go to work. Got to finish around the basket.
Gino was going to play her straight up unless she really got going. With only 6 points on the board, it doesn't look like anybody on their team is going.
Wow. And the traveling call is called. Both teams showing a little bit of the jitters. Now, tomorrow on Lifetime gets personal with one of your favorite actresses. From Dallas to TV movies, she has done it all. Intimate Portrait, Victoria Principal, premiering tomorrow night at 10.
I was a Dallas fan.
I was a huge Dallas fan. JR and all those oil deals he was making.
My goodness. People don't get out much, do you?
We're just lucky to have you aboard, Miss Miller.
Oh,
Amy Duran for the three.
Yes. Go, Glennie, go.
Duran.
You know, at this time, looking at the score, 29-6, you can't turn the ball over, but you can still chip away at this. There's plenty of time to cut this into single digits, but you have to be patient, and you have to be disciplined and focused and stick with it. Try to push the ball when you can.
Krista Gingrich pulls up and knocks it down. The kid from Lewisville, Pennsylvania, a second-team parade All-American.
He's a freshman.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. Hopefully they will have the same success as the men's 5-fab a few years back at Michigan, going to the Final Four 2 straight years. I think Coach Gino Oriana is looking at these 5 to take them to the new millennium.
And he doesn't have to look too hard. He really does. I mean, this is a very talented team, and I think his biggest concern coming into this type of tournament is how will my freshmen, my young team, respond to the challenge. And so far, they have answered extremely loud.
Shea Ralph steps out, and we see Sue Bird re-enter the game. You're looking at a different freshman, Asia Jones, 6'2" from Piscataway. That last foul was on Peyton Black for Duke. And we are going to step aside. Connecticut in control, and one of the reasons why is their bench. You are looking at Shea Ralph, a reserve player who's getting the job done inside and out.
I ain't your chick, I ain't your squeeze, I ain't.
The title of the album is Everything's Gonna Be All Right, because it is.
You still shake me.
It's such a diverse piece of work. There's something in there for everybody. I think this album mirror images the first album a little bit, but I feel like it's kind of the next step. I mean, we've all been through 2 more years of stuff.
Dina Carter, Everything's Gonna Be All Right. Get yours at Kmart for just $11.88.
I'm here with Clarissa, who recently found out how easy it is to find phone numbers using 1010-9000.
Well, after I had Susie, there were lots of people all over the country I wanted to call.
And lots of phone numbers to find.
Yes, but with 1010-9000, I was able to find everyone's number from Boston to Seattle.
And you didn't even need their area codes.
No, thank goodness. I just told the operators whose numbers I needed and where they lived.
Pretty easy, huh?
Yeah, it was.
1010-9000, directory assistance for everyone in America. That goes for you, too.
Been making my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC.
Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
Video games don't just blast through your batteries.
More batteries.
They blast through your money. That's why you should arm yours with Rayovac Maximum Alkaline. They pack long-lasting alkaline power but cost less, so you can buy more games.
How about a little one-on-one?
Get the Maximum. Rayovac Maximum.
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
When you love the one you're with,
Joe's terrific. He's just...
but can't forget that other guy,
You look good.
So do you.
be careful what you wish for. Molly Ringwald, Twice Upon a Time. Sunday at 6 on Lifetime.
Welcome back, everyone, to Nike 4 in the Fall. I am here with Shea Ralph's mother, Marsha Legg, and what an incredible story for your daughter. After coming back after 2 major reconstructive surgeries, what is her state of mind this year?
She is flying high. She is so excited, thrilled to be back. It's wonderful. We're just very excited for her. She worked real hard, and we're very pleased that she's back. This is the first time we've seen her play in 18 months.
Now, after being the National Freshman of the Year, what kind of expectations does she have for this season?
She is very team-oriented, and that's true of any of Gino's teams, and that's all that matters is how well the team does. Of course, she wants to stay healthy. That's important, too, but it's his team concept. We're real proud of her.
Well, it's certainly in the genes. You were an All-American in North Carolina. Your jersey was retired. What kind of advice do you give your daughter when she's out there on the hardwood?
I used to give her a lot, and now I don't say anything anymore. I just tell her to do her best. That's all you can ask.
You traveled all the way from Florida, so certainly the support is there. Thanks for talking to me. Let's go back to the table.
Oh, I love that North Carolina drawl. You know, it just seems so comfortable and easy.
And mom's number was retired, and she no longer gives her daughter any advice. I don't buy it. I don't buy it, Mom.
By this, Svetlana gets fouled driving in. Abrosimova all over the place.
Abrosimova coming into the game, a lot of questions. Had a strong freshman year, but has really been paying off dividends tonight. Nice little jump hook right there, leading the break, finding Swin Cash, and right here, inbounds play, hitting the simple 12-footer just everywhere.
Reggie, I think the biggest improvement in her game last season, I think that all she really wanted to do was come into the program and fit in, you know? And I think the confidence and the language barrier, she's feeling more comfortable just being a college student. And I sometimes don't think we really realize how uncomfortable that can be. Then you put in the factor that she's a foreigner. I think she's done a sensational job and is a tremendous talent.
Isn't it incredible how going to college is intimidating in and of itself, but to do it in another language.
Yes.
She spent the entire year here, went back home this summer for the first time, and didn't see her family in 10 months. At the age of 17, she's now 18, and played for the Russian national team. So she's been playing a lot of basketball and doing nothing but getting better. They said she grew an inch over the summer, too. Here comes Swin Cash. Gets it up to Abrosimova. The give back going in for Cash.
Nice pass. Give and go. Abrosimova not only scoring, but giving it up, seeing a slashing Swin Cash. You see the signal right there, Abrosimova with the nice pass, and then you see Swin Cash absorbing the contact, good focus, and finishes. Oh, I like that.
8 points for Cash. She goes up to the line to go for 9.
Talking with Gino at shoot-around, he was saying that Asia Jones, in his opinion.
Oh, he was ranting and raving, said that Jones could end up being his best player.
And they just keep on coming. Now we get to see Stacy Hansmeyer, the 6'2 junior from Norman, Oklahoma, enter the game, number 20 in white. She brought Shea Ruff back in the contest with her on that substitution. Hillary Howard with Sue Bird all over her. They like to double team her. Left unattended and all alone was Krista Gingrich. She now has 5.
You know, it's that type of spark. Knock down a couple shots, but you have to get it done here at the defensive end.
Wow. Big collide.
Wow. You know what? That would have gone the other way had Shea not dipped her shoulder.
Right. Give us the art of how to fall.
Well, the art of how to fall. First of all, she's moving, but the official saw the shoulder dip, and that's an automatic.
Because Gingrich was still moving.
Oh, she was still moving. Yep. That's why she slid so far.
Gingrich again for 3. Yeah. Now she might bring him back. It's a long way to go, but you need that.
Oh, and Gino is hot. He is highly upset right now.
Missed assignments make for an angry Oriema.
He's really getting into Abrasamova. What did I say? What did I say? Do not leave her open.
Got to switch on the screen.
That doesn't work, Fat. That doesn't work. You do what I tell you to do, and it works. Got it? Okay.
Gino, come on, it's 34-16.
No, but you know what? You have to do that. You have to lay down the law.
Hey, and if it's one of your better players, too, the rest of the players on the squad will respond to that, because if he's going to chew out my best player on the team, it's open season for the rest of us. The rest of us better bust our behinds out here, or he's going to get on us. So I understand where Gino is coming on that.
Plus, you know what? You, down the line, you're not just preparing for this tournament. You're preparing for March. You're preparing for Tennessee. You can't afford to just leave, whole squad open on the perimeter. You have to make the adjustments.
Good point. Good point, Sarah.
Paige Sauer for 3. No. Shea Ralph hustles right into the bench.
Right now, UConn was getting so many easy shots earlier. I think right now they're settling for outside shots. I think, just because they're up by so much, they're taking quick shots. Let's start moving the ball around. Let's do what got us the lead here. They're just settling for outside shots right now.
Well, Duke should keep the ball in this girl's hand. She's 3 for 3 from the field, 2 for 2 from three-point land.
This is the difference, Reggie and Leandra. And Gino said that he was going to be concerned about a team that plays a lot of zone. Because if you're making the shots against the zone, that's great. But when you start missing them, that's when you start getting tight. And that is what's happened in the last 4 to 5 minutes. Plus, you've got a lot of good energy and good shots from your freshmen at the free throw line, Gingrich.
16 fouls against Connecticut. That last one was on Paige Sauer. That was her first. We now have 9 points for Krista Gingrich.
Thank you. Knock yourself. 20.
Now let's take a look again at the advantage the defense has now in this free throw situation.
Okay.
They've moved them back onto the blocks. They can actually put their feet on the block where they used to before have to stay down low. And they were really in bad position.
It was, but, as an offensive player, if I want to get to the glass, I will get to the glass. It just makes the offensive player work a little harder and try to be a little more creative.
Well, Duke has trimmed this lead down to 16 right now by playing good, solid defense, and UConn is just shooting the ball quickly. If they can cut this lead to 12 or 10 by the end of this half, I'm sure Coach Gail Gessner will be happy with that.
Oh, first of all, she has to be happy because her team has now responded to the challenge. And the number 2 thing that they're doing better, they're handling the pressure. And number 2, they're doing a better job on the defensive board.
Peyton Black is out. Michelle Van Gorp is back in the game for the Duke Blue Devils.
And immediately they have to start looking for Michelle down low. Try to get her on track. You're not going to win. You're not going to beat UConn from the outside.
And keep going to Gingrich.
Yes.
Gingrich has 10 points.
Yes.
She's getting it done. 34-18 is our score with 8:45 in the game. Nice turnaround. Gorp it in. Van Gorp gets it.
Reggie, excellent point. You want to balance attack. You got Gingrich on the outside. You want Van Gorp on the inside. That gives 2 players the confidence to get it done.
Ooh, I thought that was a clean block.
Yeah, a little too much body. A little too much body.
So the hand was clean, the body was.
Good move here by Paige Sauer, taking Michelle Van Gorp off the dribble. You see the good block upstairs, but it's the body down low is what the official sees.
And the one thing, you want your big girls to be shot blockers, but they have to pick and choose when to try to block a shot. That time, if I'm Van Gorp, I'm trying to slide over and try to take the charge on Paige Sauer.
A 14-4 Duke run in the last 3 minutes. Make that 14-5 now with that free throw. 6 points for Paige Sauer.
Here comes another wave of freshmen. Asia Jones
That'd be demoralizing. They just keep coming at you and coming at you.
Well, they have a little success here. If they're able to come down and execute, slow the game down, play their half court, and score, it gives them confidence and continues to build on this momentum. Boy, that's deep. That's deep.
That was almost an NBA three.
It's deep and it missed. So now Connecticut can get back inside. Put back Sauer, no. Put back Sauer, no. Duke's got the ball, and it's little Gingrich with the rebound.
Boy, UConn had two good looks in there.
You got to be happy right now.
The travel is called against Duke. That was Michelle Van Gorp who was whistled as Connecticut gets the ball on the turnover.
Coach Gale,
I'm not quite sure about that one.
Coach kind of saying, I didn't see it. I didn't see it, big girl.
She's the 1998 ACC Coach of the Year, also the 1996 ACC Coach of the Year.
She's done a heck of a job.
Beautiful job at Duke. Put them on the map.
You know, watching her today at shoot-around and just having her team sit around and meditate and try to focus on this game was really powerful.
So it is Krista Gingrich getting the job done for Duke. She's putting the points up. Started out 3 for 3, 10 points for her. Can she keep it up?
Just call 1-800-SKY-MILE.
With the Delta Sky Miles credit card, every dollar you spend gets you a Delta Sky Mile. And when you buy your Delta ticket with it, you gain even faster. You get 1.5 Sky Miles for every dollar you spend. Plus, when you apply now, you'll receive 5,000 bonus Sky Miles automatically with the card. And of course, you'll get American Express service worldwide.
Call 1-800-SKY-MILE and apply now. We can take all the information in just a few minutes.
Call today. The sooner you get the Delta Sky Miles credit card, the sooner you can get someplace you really want to go.
He had it all, but could a voice from the past threaten his future?
My guess is they're already deep into Mexico by now. Oh, my God.
D.W. Moffat and Cloris Leachman star in Danielle Steele's Fine Things.
Tomorrow at 4 on Lifetime.
We are back. Is it possible that Duke head coach Gail Gastenkors is stealing the thunder of Duke basketball? Not so, says Mike Krzyzewski.
I couldn't be more enthusiastic about my happiness for women's sports, having 3 daughters. Only one of them has participated in sports, but there's no question that women should be given an opportunity to play their sports and to get recognition and to compete and do all those things that men are able to do. And it's nice to see that things are organized in such a fashion that now they can, like in women's college basketball, they can play at the highest level and compete for their championship. I think that's great.
I'll tell you, you give a dad a daughter and it opens his eyes to athletic opportunities.
Well, you know what, and let's be honest here, there are a lot of coaches, male coaches and male programs that don't really support the women's programs, and it's nice when you have someone of Mike Krzyzewski's character and magnitude supporting the women.
Absolutely.
You personally must know some. Why don't you just call them out right now?
I could out a lot of coaches right now.
5 points for Asia Jones. The lead 12 to 18 points for the Huskies.
Poor shot right there by Peppy Brown.
She forced that. She forced that.
But you kind of get in that tendency, especially a team that's pressing. You want to get into a hurried-up offense and seem to rush your shots a lot. Big
that
rebound.
That was a great rebound by Paige Sauer. That was good.
That is the
Sauer again.
Well, at least she stuck with it, but that's about the second putback that Sauer hasn't finished. And Coach Oriema, in earlier practice, said, you know what? We pull Paige Sauer away from the basket, and she'll shoot 90%. But if you put her around the basket, she has a little trouble finishing, but the one thing you have to give Sauer a lot of credit is the fact that she never gave up on the rebound. She repositioned herself and put it off the glass with the finish.
Paige Sauer has 9 points, as does Swin Cash, as Svetlana Abrosimova has 8 points. So they're really spreading out the scoring here. It is Erickson at the line for Duke.
And I'm noticing your little paper is getting longer and longer and longer.
It's not just one note. You know, you got to put everybody for Connecticut on this little cheat sheet here. They're all in on the action.
Coach Oriama very much into this game, always teaching. That's what I love about him as a coach, is he's always teaching, and it's the fundamentals of the game. He wants his players to improve in every aspect of the game.
Well, at practice, you could almost hear the pin drop. Every time he was speaking, all eyes were fixed on Gino, and everyone understood his philosophies. And when Gino speaks, people listen. And he wouldn't have had the best 5-year compiled record in men's or women's basketball for nothing.
Very true.
Erickson looking up to Gingrich, who loses the handle from behind because of Sue Bird, who now leads the fast break. Can she pull it in? She stops and gets the rim.
Got Jones on the rebound.
And Jones with the foul.
Oh, did you see how fast Jones got up the floor to get that offensive board?
You know, I don't know who to say. Do you say Asia Jones? Do you say Swin Cash? Do you say Tamika Williams?
You say the University of Connecticut.
I agree.
Speaking of Tamika Williams, she is now in the game for Asia Jones. As we look now at this fast break that was started by Sue Bird, she tries to finish it here, but here comes that sprint.
Here comes Jones. Just great position, great athleticism, and then he had the foul.
Better hands right there by Peppy Brown to jar it free from Asia's hands and come up with the foul.
Brown doesn't get it, but Duke gets the rebound. As they try to regroup here, ball's in Krista Gingrich's hands. He's got Sue Bird all over her. Peppy Brown looks to go around and loses the ball inside. Svetlana Abrosimova leads the Husky charge.
And there's such a small lineup right now for Duke. They really have no inside presence. And Peppy Brown, trying to make up the difference down low, lost the ball that time, is really trying to press a little too much, Reg.
That's 2 fouls on Peppy Brown. What hustle she has. Paige Sauer is going for her 10th point.
Now, Paige can play like this on a consistent basis, along with the Fab Five and Shea Rouse. I'm sure the questions are going over the airwaves now. Who is going to dethrone Tennessee? Is there enough on this young UConn Husky team to go after Tennessee?
Schweitzer just tried to line up, and the ref told her, we've got experimental rules. Before the second free throw is issued, they're going to whistle for a sub, and they said, no, we're not. So even the refs are a little rusty here.
Yeah, it's a new rule. Everybody's working themselves to the regular season.
Paige Sauer, 3 for 4 from the line. As you look at Swin Cash coming back into the ballgame.
Yeah, Blake, you have numbers.
Schweitzer. Oh, bad pass, Schweitzer, right into the hands of Connecticut. And here comes Tamika Williams. Back up to Svetlana Abrosimova from Russia. Amy Durant from the outside for 3. No. And Duke taps it out of bounds. And now it's time for our MCI 10-10-3-2-1 game summary. Duke 6 of 19 from the field with 10 turnovers. Michelle Van Gorp 2 for 6. Connecticut 15 of 32. Swin Cash leads the scoring with 9 points. 4 out of 5 field goals. Sue Bird, Lyles long range and doesn't connect.
You can't run with UConn. When you get an opportunity like that, let's set the ball up.
Well, you can run against UConn. You just have to be selective and make sure you have the numbers. If you don't, that is when you set up into your half-court offense, and then you try to work and wear down the clock and try to get a strong shot.
But when you're down by 21,
you still have to be patient. You can't sit up there and get caught up in trying to make up, 20-plus points in 5 minutes. That's how you get buried by 40.
Well, there might be a 20-point shot.
Tamika Williams goes all the way. 6'2" freshman out of Dayton, Ohio. That's her first basket of her college career.
And so Gail Jeffrey-Kurz is just livid with herself. She doesn't know what to do. You see right here, Tamika Williams overplaying the lanes right there, comes up with the steals ahead of the pack for the easy lay-in.
Well, Reggie, the game is defensively a game of deflections for UConn.
10 consecutive trips for Connecticut to get to the NCAA tournament. Only a handful of teams in this country can boast 10 consecutive trips, 3 times to the Final Four. And, of course, 1995, they won it all. That was a perfect season. That's when they had Rebecca Lobo, Carol Walters, spelled W-O-L-T-E-R-S, no relation to Kirsten Walters, the recruited freshman this year.
And everyone's saying to Gino, well, why, out of those 10 years, we don't have 4, 5, 6 championships like Tennessee? People got to understand, the bar has been raised. There's a lot of other teams that are playing at that level as well.
You know, people have to understand, it's difficult to get, first of all, to the Final Four.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, it takes a little luck, a lot of talent, and some great coaching. And Gino has had the great mixture of that.
Erickson missed when Cash followed that with her own miss. 3 UConn Huskies when Cash. Now getting it up to Svetlana Abrosimova with an errant pass. Duke's got it.
She tried to pass it from the hill.
4:55 left in this first half, and a 23-point bulge for the Huskies. Sue Bird slapped it out of her hands, and Krista Gingrich is saying she slapped my elbows when she slapped.
Gingrich said, well, where's that touch foul? Where's the hand foul? The hand-checking foul. What about a body check?
Gingrich and Bird.
Duke has to simply keep moving.
Schweitzer once again called for the travel.
Put the ball on the floor first so you don't get called for traveling.
Well, when the wave of UConn Huskies is running at you, it's kind of hard to pick out a space, Cheryl.
You can pick out a space. They just have to just make sure they get their composure back, and you have to do that. Try to go in the locker room with some positive.
You know, Reggie, you said it right from the beginning. They've got to get it inside and mix it up, make the shots, and boom, from the outside and take the shot. And Sue Bird took one tremendous fall there. She got her legs taken out from under her.
But you know what? Ooh, that was a good no call. That was a very good no call.
On the floor again.
That was a good no call.
Wow, really sacrificing herself. I think she's blinking back to tears. That's smart.
I mean, that was a tough shot and a hard foul, but that was a good no call by the officials.
Welcome to college.
Yeah. No kidding.
What was the biggest adjustment, Reggie, for you? Think way back, going from high school to college, and then the adjustment from college to pros.
Oh, definitely. The players are much bigger and much stronger. Coming from high school to college, you know, you think you know everything until that first practice and that first elbow hits you inside the face. And especially going from college to the pros, you're dealing with guys that at 6'9" are handling point guard duties, and I've never seen nothing like that.
Yeah. Now, Leandra, the real truth is the big difference, the big transition for Reggie from high school to college is high school, he put up maybe 17 shots a game, and he went to about 25 and 30. That's the big transition. Come on, Reggie, tell the truth. He still didn't play any defense. High school, college, or pros.
They don't pay me to play defense. They pay me to put the ball in the hole. Well, right now they're not paying me
at all. Right. Well, we won't go there.
Thank goodness for lifetime.
Gets Amy Durant another look at it. Again, she dials long distance, and it's Gingrich with the rebound.
Patience, ladies, patience. We know you're up by 21. Let's move the basketball.
Erickson gets it inside, but we have a whistle. Body.
Move the knee. You can't move the player out with the leg. As soon as you raise that foot, it's an automatic call.
Kelly Schumacher gets nailed for that one. She's the 6'5" forward/center from Canada. And again, the officials directing traffic on this free throw rule. If you don't occupy the second spot in the box, you can't move down if you're the defender. So the 2 defenders take the inside position on the free throw lane. If the offense decides not to take the next 2 spots, the defense can't step down. Again, these are preseason rules. You will not see them during the regular season.
If I'm Coach Gail Gesson-Kors, what I'm trying to do right now, we got to hold UConn, have a defensive stance, keep them under 50, and gradually chip away at this humongous deficit.
And you can see Duke is trying to claw their way back into this 43-24 ball game, but Connecticut saying, no, we want it big and bad.
So, how would you tell your boss if you were pregnant?
I think I'd have a little explaining to do.
Come on, help me out here.
There are days when a woman needs exceptional strength. Secret Ultra Dry.
You know he's going to wonder if you're coming back.
And I'll tell him I'm planning to, which I am.
All right.
Unless I decide to stay home.
Well, whatever you decide, we'll work that up.
The absolute best type of dryness protection there is, and pH balanced for a woman's chemistry.
Maybe we'll both stay home.
Let's not get too carried away, okay?
I'd like to show you something you're really going to like. 1010-9000. The only number you need to get directory assistance anywhere in America. It's the easiest way to find a phone number. You don't need to know the area code. Who can keep track of them? Just dial 1010-9000, tell the operator whose number you want and where they live. That's it. They find you the number, even offer to dial it for you with no connection charge. It's pretty simple, huh? I thought you'd like it. 1010-9000, directory assistance for everyone in America.
I switched.
So did we.
From Ocean Spray to Northland.
Ocean Spray Cranberry Cocktail is only 27% juice.
Northland is 100% juice.
People everywhere are switching to Northland Cranberry Juice blends because Northland is 100% juice, naturally sweetened with apple and grape juice instead of sugar and water.
It's got to be 100% juice. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Northland, always 100% juice.
Oh, mama, Prego, Prego is the best. Oh, mama, Prego, Prego won the test. Oh, mama, Prego, Prego has the best. Prego, 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 Prego tastes the best.
Would your family prefer Prego? In taste tests, most people preferred Prego traditional to these others. Your family will too. It's so thick, so rich.
Prego tastes the best.
Wouldn't your family prefer Prego? Now in 5 exciting new flavors, including Italian sausage and garlic.
Lifetime Tuesday night.
Under no circumstances should you attempt to be honest with your mother.
I'm going to be honest with you, Mother. Why?
Tracy loves Mom. Now, can she learn to like her?
I think we're really on our way to a better relationship.
Get out.
Oh, baby. Lifetime Tuesday night.
Welcome back. It's a 45-24 first half between Connecticut and Duke. You've heard the adage, Mom always loved you best. Well, this is Coach always loved you best. Look at Cheryl and Reggie in college.
Wow.
17.2 points per game for Reggie. Cheryl, 23. Rebounds, Reggie, 4. Cheryl, 12. Field goal percentage, pretty close there, folks. Free throw percentage, give the nod to Reggie. You know what? All-American titles go to Cheryl with 4 NCAA titles.
Hey, but it doesn't mean anything because he makes more money now.
No, hey, where's the NIT title at? Who's doing the graphics around here? I want heads to roll. At least we want an NIT.
That's true. You don't make any money now, but...
Hey, you know what? Maybe we would have been safer with Mom always loves you best instead of Coach always loves you best.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Reggie, you didn't hit the boards or anything, did you?
I told you. Oh, 4 rebounds for a small forward. Yeah, that's pretty good.
He was saving himself for the Pacers.
That's
what can
right.
I say? Now look at him. He's a
Now, granted,
perfect
you were
health here.
weighing $125, but just 4 rebounds?
Swin Cash. No, rebound Gingrich.
Look down low.
Look down. There you go. Give it
Peyton
up.
Black had to come back for it, but left-handed hook and gets whacked by Schumacher.
Good hustle.
Yeah, I think that pass was deflected just a little bit, but you're talking about making your own breaks and your opportunity. Gingrich trying to look down, finds Peyton Black. Peyton with a nice left, almost completes it. Kelly Schumacher coming in and not wasting a foul.
Gino says when you go that deep, you might as well. You got to have bruisers.
Come in and be aggressive.
3 points so far for Peyton Black. You see her average from last year, just over 10.
Keep chipping away, Duke. Just keep chipping away. With a defensive stance, they get one shot at the basket and come down and execute.
And look at you.
There you go, being active.
Themselves.
Oh.
I don't know about that strong.
Yeah, both teams being very aggressive. That kills you as a coach. Because you're trying to get back into this game by any means necessary. Your kids are not being rewarded for being aggressive. That's not much of a reach. That is not much of a reach.
And you can tell that's the coach coming out in Cheryl Miller right there, who led the WNBA in technical fouls. So excuse us, audience, if she is kind of bipartisan towards the officials.
You know, I've never been being whistled in the broadcast booth. But maybe we're going to it could happen with you, Cheryl Miller.
Definitely happened. I saw one of the officials I was talking about, and she looked over at me and said, look, hey, I'm not coaching. I'm over here just trying to make a buck.
Hey, Cheryl, I do have to ask you a legitimate question. Yes. This Connecticut team is really, really good. What is the difference between this UConn team that is so good and the WNBA?
Wow. You know what? It's a physical game. First of all, I'm really surprised at how fast this team is. I mean, they have the speed of a WNBA team, but the one thing, it's the physicalness. I don't think that they're as physical. They're certainly got a lot of talent, but it'd be interesting to see them go up against a WNBA team.
Well, especially in a few years when that Fab Five has some time to mature. I'm sure a lot of comparisons are going to be made and correlations between this UConn and even the Tennessee team to the WNBA teams. But, you know, Phoenix and Phoenix Mercury and Houston Comets, two of the elite teams in the WNBA.
There's always going to be that big difference.
There's always a big difference. Everyone asks about the NBA and college. It's day and night.
I mean, as talented as Twin Cash is, she's no Cynthia Cooper. Cynthia Cooper is in the league by herself. Cheryl Swoops. The list goes on. Tina Thompson.
Bird hesitated there. Hand checking. And coming up at halftime, we're going to take a look at Duke on the rise. Nikisha Sale, the UConn great from days gone by, not that long ago, will be joining Maura Driscoll. And, of course, we will recap all of the first half action here of this, our first game of a twin bill.
A lot of controversy between the two sales a few years back.
Shouldn't have been. It should not have been.
Should not have been because Gino Auriemma, under the guise of sportsmanship, pulled her out of many, many games to keep things from getting blown out of proportion. He put her back in so she could have the career scoring point. That one basket caused an uproar, but nobody roared when he took her out and messed with that career scoring title.
Leandra, I am floating and sailing in your boat. I absolutely agree. I couldn't agree with you more.
Well, maybe that was the shot in the arm that women's sports and women's basketball needed. Controversy, it was headlines in the Post and in Newsweek.
Basketball's had it. What are you talking about?
It always has, but not the controversy like that.
Oh, they've had controversy all the time. What are you talking about?
Well, not you getting fights with Cynthia Cooper.
There's no need for you to go way back like that, but you're acting like that this was the first controversy in women's basketball.
Well,
I mean, it was
name another big
controversy. Look who you're talking to. He's the king of controversy.
That's true, Mr. Malcolm.
I mean, he takes on Hollywood and Spike Lee. I mean, let's go controversy. This
you guys want to know where I'm getting from? It's from the person right next to me.
Family Dynamics on Lifetime. I think I see an
intimate bad impression. We're going to have our own show on Lifetime. So Reggie and Cheryl and Reggie, I'll give you Billy. Like Donnie and Marie, you can have top billing.
All right, Connecticut steps out of bounds. Duke gets the ball, but reaching over is Amy Duran.
Boy, look at Coach Gail Gaston-Corn. She is going nuts on the sideline. She wants some more consistency, and she wants consistency at both ends of the floor.
That's 2 on Duran.
So, Cheryl, what will Coach Gaston-Corn say at halftime to this veteran Duke team going into the halftime?
I'm watching her on the sidelines right now. And
what is her body language telling you?
I mean, she's concerned, but she's smiling. You know, she knows that the first 10 minutes of the ball game, her team played probably as bad as she's probably seen them play. And she knows that they're playing a very talented team. You go in, you regroup, you make some adjustments, and you come out and get the job done in the second half.
Erickson 4 for 4 from the line. She averages 12 points per game, only has 4 in this contest. They need more from her in the second half. A 19-point lead for the Huskies. 2:20 left in the ball game.
Okay, 2:20 left in this first half. If you can get it to 15, you can cut this lead to 15. You have done some work. Oh, and Gino not very happy with that.
Look at the turnover story, 14-7. Connecticut forcing them.
Swin Cass guarding the point guard. This is the top
Oh boy. Gingrich gets it, protects it, gets it back to Erickson.
Well, he dodged a bullet on that one.
Yep.
Right take it all the way to the basket.
No go. Duran looking ahead and sees nothing but blue. Wisely pulls back. Svetlana looking for something, comes to the top of the key and gets the rim of the net. They cross the half-century mark, 51-30, a 21-point lead. Just about a minute and a half left in this first half. Gingrich for three.
Good hustle there by Bird.
Tips the direction off of that one. Sauer underneath.
Oh, that's a backbreaker.
Oh, Peyton Black screaming, come on.
Okay. Wow, Sue Bird with a nice pass. Look at Sauer running the floor, gathers herself. Peyton Black, that's all right. It was just part of the arm.
3 fouls on her.
3 fouls. Yeah.
Paige Sauer at the line. Shoots about 73%.
Well, as good a shooter she is from three-point land, she can be a better free throw shooter. She has great touch.
Yeah, coming from the expert.
3 for 5 from the line tonight.
Wholesale changes by Gino right now.
Reggie, why is that you can have an athlete that can shoot the lights out, but once they get to the free throw line, struggle?
It's all mental.
I think it's all exactly. It's got to be between the ears.
I think if you're playing the game and you're just naturally, instinctively shooting, that's part of the game. But when you're fouled and you go to the free throw line and 10,000 people are looking at you and counting, oh, he's a great shooter, so I know for sure he's going to make these shots. It's all mental.
But it's, you know, I've never understood it because it's the one time in a game where no one's pursuing you, chasing you, hanging on you, fouling you. You got a clean look at the basket.
And it's quiet. You think you'd be able to swish it.
Well, Leandra, you were excellent at the free throw line, weren't you? What? I was trying to throw you a bone there.
Yeah,
kid.
and it was a bone. In Chicago, there's a street game called individual where you play to 6 or play to 12, and whoever gets to 6 or 12, the person who's losing goes to the free throw line. If they make it, the game's extended 6 more points. And my first date with my husband, we played individual, and I got to 6 first, and he made the free throw. I got to 12 first, he made the free throw. I got to 18 first, he made the free throw. At 24, he got there first. I missed the free throw.
Oh.
And we got married not long thereafter.
Now, there you go.
Look at that. Showing a little pep.
Just getting a little emotional about
Showing a little pep.
5 for Pepe. 48 seconds.
Down by 17. Get a stop right here. Go back down and score. You're in great shape.
51-34.
Keep yourself in distance and striking distance. And Duke can do that right now with a solid defensive stop.
Shot clock down to 8. Game clock at 30. Bird takes it. No. Rebound to Duke. They have 26 seconds. Shot clock off.
One shot. You don't need this shot, Lauren.
There you go. Get
She'll take it. She will take it.
What they wanted.
Look at Lauren Rice. Look at the big girl, Lauren Rice. You're talking about how excited she is. She hesitates just a little bit. Sauer doesn't move her feet, and she just concentrates.
I don't know about that, Cheryl.
Hey,
Look like Paige Sauer right there. Had her feet set.
No, she knows.
Hands up outside the extended circle. And look at Lauren Rice showing that emotion, trying to get this Duke team fired up.
Hey, the team that is most aggressive gets the calls.
And there's still 20 seconds left in the half. And while the shot clock's off, and they're now within 14, 51-37. A steal here and a put it up.
There you go. A trap right here. Oh! And
too bad she was on the ground.
Falling down. Yep. She had that ball.
Svetlana, no! Game down to the half clock is 7 seconds.
And there's time for Duke to get another shot up. UConn going to their full court press right now.
Absolutely.
Good timeout. Excellent timeout. Set up a last shot and utilize it.
In 30 seconds, what are they setting up?
Hey, they're setting up that shot. They're going to try to push the ball. Of course, if I'm Coach Auriemma, I'm going to try to extend the defense and make it very difficult for them to get up. But they have to get up quickly down the floor and get. Hey, I would go with Gingrich because she's been shooting the ball extremely well.
But watch for Erickson. Erickson's been real quiet this first half. Watch for Gingrich to penetrate, draw the defense, and look for Erickson on the wing. And don't forget about Lauren Rice. She can hit the three as well.
All right, we're seeing Duke on the comeback. At the half, you'll see Duke on the rise. A comeback for Duke here. and a program that has just been turned around by Gail Gastankers. Also, you UConn fans will want to see Nikisha Sales, what she's been up to, and of course, we will recap all of the numbers in action here in this the first half. It's a 51-37 ball game. Duke has the ball way down at the other end of the court. They have 7.4 to get it up and possibly be able to close this to a 51-39 ball, maybe even 51-40 with a trade.
Go after it. You can't stand. You can't stand.
You know what? That's why Tamika Williams was the high school national player of the year.
Yeah, well,
She showed her
Brown,
speed.
Peppy Brown has to step up. You can't stand and wait for the ball. You have to get up and move.
That hit the clock. She tried to call timeout before she fell out of bounds.
And that's a freshman. That's a freshman trying to make a play like that.
Well, Duke keeps inching their way up the court now. This is probably better position for them.
There you go. Take it all the way down.
Why didn't you see Peppy before? 2 seconds. Newton said traveling is called. Oh, double dribble. Oh, too bad.
Can't say they didn't have their chances right there, Duke, to cut it to the lead.
Wasn't this a foul? Let me ask you something. Was this a foul, Reg?
No, she didn't. Yeah, she didn't touch her at all.
Well, why she had to touch her.
I thought there was a lot of contact on that.
I think she just lost the ball.
1.6 on the clock. And now Connecticut has to get the ball all the way the other way. Through everybody's hands. Nobody touches it. And this first half is over. 51-37 is our score. Duke has been on the move, and at the half, you'll see them on the rise. It's Connecticut and Duke here at the Nike 4 in the fall tournament. Ready to go.
Looks pretty steep. What?
If you've been thinking about jumping into a rugged new Montana,
I need more room!
now's a really good time.
Never seen a minivan do that before.
Maybe it's not really a minivan.
Life was more exciting in Montana. Now jump into a rugged Montana with this limited time offer. But get a move on because the train's leaving the station. See your Pontiac dealer today.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise. We like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to live healthier. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to put on a bathing suit. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
Merry Christmas, Matt.
It's your first holiday apart.
He destroyed everything we had together. He betrayed my trust, and sorry is not enough.
Can a twist of fate
Looks like we're stuck. Together.
and an unexpected lesson in forgiveness
Why can't you begin again with the person you love the most?
help you rediscover the passion that first brought you together?
That's the secret.
Lifetime Original Movies presents Jo Beth Williams in A Chance of Snow. Premiering next month on Lifetime, television for women.
We are inside San Jose Arena, and the University of Connecticut leads Duke 51-37. For years, Duke University has been smack dab in the middle of the basketball mad asylum known as the state of North Carolina. But it has been the men's team with famed Coach K who has always been the center of Tar Heel talk. But now Coach G and the Blue Devils are making it known that all NCAA championship bids are created equal. Duke, rich in tradition, founded on excellence. And fans that love their basketball.
Look at this Wacko, 1,400 on the SAT.
But Duke has another team. The men have had so much attention here on campus that the women are starting to get that. Back in the 80s when I played, we were part of the first scholarship class that came to Duke, and I think that just kind of set the groundwork for what people are able to do today.
Last season was historic for the Blue Devil women's basketball team. Their first appearance in the NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8.
This women's team has not just popped up overnight. It's been the culmination of a lot of hard work by a terrific coaching staff.
Screen away! You don't just stand there. Do not just stand there. Screen away.
Gail Gestenkors began her coaching career at Duke in 1992 after leading a successful program at Purdue as an assistant coach. Gail sought a school willing to make the commitment to develop a winning tradition.
When I came on, Mike Krzyzewski told me, he said, I want us to be a great basketball school. Not men's basketball, not women's basketball, a great basketball school.
Both the men's and women's programs should be very good, that we should compete nationally. Gail Gestenkors has been able to build a program to the point where now she has a chance to do that.
Coming into a school where winning was not synonymous with the women's program, Gail had to deal with losing for the first time in her life.
I guess when I look at where we've come from, I'm very happy.
When we finish the break, she's coming down, boom, I'm setting this back screen for her, I'm the guard.
I had to learn how to deal with losses and how to motivate through losses. And coming from the bottom to the top, I got to experience every possible aspect of the game. And it's exciting now to be on top, and it definitely makes me want to not go back to the bottom again.
Returning a veteran team that finished 8th in the country last year, this tenacious squad reflects the drive of their coach.
We want to be the first school that wins a national championship the same year for men's and women's basketball.
If her wish comes true, just imagine the reaction. Who knows, maybe 4, as in Final Four, is Duke's lucky number. They're ranked number 4 in the country. They're playing in the 4 in the fall, and Coach G has guided Duke to 4 straight NCAA bids, the most ever for one coach in Duke history. When we return, it was meant to be a grand gesture to a great player. It wound up being the most controversial play in women's basketball last season. I'll talk with the player who was in the middle of it all, Nikisha Sales.
I'm looking at a dress and an address.
5:30, be there.
Jack, you know I hate surprises.
For surprising strength, without all those messy white marks, there's Secret Sheer Dry. pH balanced for a woman's chemistry.
So, what is this all about?
10 years ago, our first date, we met right here. You wore that little black dress. I want to live the whole night again.
I love it. Of course, that means you'll be sleeping alone.
I thought we could rewrite history a little.
You know Lifetime. Well, now Lifetime brings you LMN, Lifetime Movie Network, a brand new channel with even more of the movies you love.
Really?
To find out more information on how you can get LMN, call toll-free at 1-888-550-4LMN. Lifetime Movie Network, your favorite kinds of movies, your favorite Lifetime women. In movies all day, movies all night.
I'm thrilled.
You know Lifetime. Now there's LMN, Lifetime Movie Network. Your movie's on.
Now that's a classic.
Hey, I admire your taste as well.
Thanks. It's all original. In fact, I got 2 of them.
Same here.
Care to swap one?
Sure, thanks.
So, you know whose cars these are?
No idea.
Now at McDonald's, you can get 2 classics for just $2.22. 2 big, juicy quarter-pounder with cheese sandwiches, or 2 original filet-of-fish sandwiches, or 1 of each for $2.22. So drive on in today. Did somebody say McDonald's?
Ferguson Bath and Kitchen Gallery is proud to be a Kohler Company registered showroom. Ferguson and Kohler have been in the plumbing fixture business for decades. Our experienced consulting staff can design the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. For information, call 410-944-7000.
Considered the best player ever to tie a pair of sneakers at the University of Connecticut, I'd say it's more than ironic that you're most widely known for this play. That is Nikisha Sales, who limped back onto the court 3 days after rupturing her Achilles tendon last February to score an uncontested basket to become UConn's all-time leading scorer. To some, it was a grand gesture to a great player by UConn and Villanova. To others, it was a stigma to the women's game. After months of rehabilitation, Nikisha joins us here as she prepares to embark on a pro career in the WNBA. And Nikisha, I saw you laughing when I rolled that tape. How many times have you seen that?
A few times. I'm trying to forget about it.
I know you want to put it behind you, but did it surprise you, the controversy, when you made that one shot? How much controversy surrounded that situation?
I think in a way, but it's something that doesn't happen every day. So when it did happen, and it happened in a women's sport, people couldn't stop talking about it. So I understand in a sense. I respect everyone's opinion. It's nothing to get mad about. It was just something for our team and the coach wanted to do for me. And sorry if I started any trouble.
Oh, well, you know, it's been a long time and you've had some time to think about it. When you think of that moment, is that a good memory for you or a bad memory?
I think so. If I had to do it again, I would, probably. At first, I was a little upset on what was going on and how people thought I was as a person, but now I think about it, I would probably do it again.
Good for you. You know, I know you've been working hard rehabbing your Achilles tendon. You recently had a chance to test your injury in Brazil with the WNBA traveling team. Did you feel like you were back to your old self?
I think so. My biggest concern was I going to feel it when I was out there, and I didn't feel it at all. After I was done playing, it felt fine, so I think that's definitely a plus for me.
You've recently been assigned to the WNBA expansion team in Orlando. Now, you don't have any teammates yet. You don't have a team name. It's just you. I mean, is there any added pressure because you are the star for a brand new franchise?
I don't think so. I'm coming in as a rookie, and I'm learning just like any other rookie. I hope I get that benefit of the doubt, but I'm definitely going to go in there and try my hardest. I'm coming off an injury. I'm in a whole new league, a whole new group of players, so I'm going to try my best.
Talk about that. It's a bit of a transition from the college game to the professional ranks in terms of marketing. I mean, you are the face that's going to sell tickets in Orlando. So much for Disney World down there. It's Nikisha Sales.
I know, I hear you. But I had a sneak peek of the talent in the WNBA playing on the Brazil team, and I know a little bit about each player. It's hard to contain or try to stop those type of players, but I'm going to try my best.
All right, well, we'll be looking forward to seeing you play this summer in Orlando. Thanks, Nikisha. Well, that's all for the Lifetime Halftime Report. After this next break, it's back down to Leandra Riley and the Miller siblings for the second half. You're watching the Nike 4 in the Fall, presented by Secret.
It's the way we welcome the sun with 35 sunblock. The way the best water now mostly comes in bottles. It's the way we make time for exercise and like to enjoy reading. Today, more and more people are finding reasons to live healthier. That's why Subway offers 7 subs, each under 6 grams of fat. Because when you're through surfing, you might want to put on a bathing suit. Subway, it's the way a sandwich should be.
You have a visitor in the main lobby.
Come see.
Hey, I thought this was Thursday.
It is.
Yeah, but I also want macaroni and cheese.
You're right. Must be Friday.
Yeah, takeout night.
Let's see what Mom ordered.
Wow, you got us quesadillas.
But I'm here, Doorbell.
Introducing delicious new ways to cook with Campbell's, like these chicken quesadillas made with cheddar cheese soup. They're quick, easy, and unlike anything you've made before.
Mom, you've got to learn to cook these.
I'll work on it. Campbell's, good for the body, good for the soul.
Lifetime Tuesday. When Maggie saves the day, Art's ego takes a dive.
It's not like you flew across the country with a heart in a cooler.
Thank God for Richard.
It was like this.
Huge.
Euphoric.
Rush.
And nothing else mattered.
That's Maggie. Lifetime Tuesday night.
This copyright telecast of Nike may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise used in any form without the written consent of Nike.
Welcome back. 51-37 is our score, but Duke has been making a move in the late goings. Welcome back. I'm Leandra Riley, along with Cheryl and Reggie Miller in their debut as a brother-sister duo on a telecast, and this is Lifetime's debut into college basketball.
Yes.
What a study in contrast.
So far, we've been successful here.
Well, you know, from the beginning, we talked about UConn's Fab Five, and of course, Win Cash has really come up big for them. But more importantly, Win Cash has really come up big for them. But also, Shea Ralph, we talked about her being the sentimental favorite for UConn, has really stepped up big for them.
All right, let's talk about Swin Cash in particular. Let's take a look at Connecticut in the first half, and Swin Cash was on the receiving end of some good Svetlana Abrosimova.
Well, that's one thing Gino really prides himself on, is really ball movement, getting the ball up the floor. And here's Shea Ralph taking the ball off the long rebound, going coast to coast for the easy lay-in, showing no ill effects from that reconstructive knee surgery.
And early on, not a whole lot of success, but the freshman, Krista Gingrich, with a nice pass. Look at that. But the freshman came in, had 10 points, scored huge. But you know what? If I am Coach Geston-Kors, I have to be very, very happy only being down by 14 points, shooting 29%.
First half stats brought to us by Secret. There you see the numbers. Turnovers, though, Duke 15, Connecticut 8. Ouch. Three-point field goal shooting, pretty even there. Rebounding, 21-26. And then our field goal percentage, that's the difference in our numbers here. 29% for Duke, 44% for Connecticut. Here are the number leaders. The freshman, Krista Gingrich, with 10. And then you've got 3 players in double digits for Connecticut.
Well, what's really surprising is you don't see Nicole Erickson, who last season almost averaged 13 points. She's 0 for 3 from the floor, as 4 points from 4 free throws. But the one thing that this team did well, that Duke did well, is they came the last 3 minutes hard, went hard at UConn, and cut the lead to 14.
Well, we talked about that too, Cheryl. If Duke can come out here and get some early baskets before UConn gets into that rhythm and gets that flow going, cut this lead to 10 points, 9 or 10 points, and really put some pressure on this young UConn team, they could kind of change the complexity of this game.
And it'll be really interesting to see if that happens, how this young team responds to adversity.
It is a 14-point ball game. Duke, the number 4 team in the nation, against number 3 Connecticut. Huskies inbound the ball by virtue of controlling the tip in the first half. Amy Duran able to get control, gets it over to Svetlana Abrosimova, who goes in the paint and is called for the double dribble.
Now, Reggie, if you've noticed early, Duke has come out and they're really trying to pressure Bird and also Duran, really trying to force them to take make some bad passes, and they were able that time to force the turnover.
Lauren Rice, number 40 for Duke, gets it up to Peppy Brown, who goes baseline underneath, and they're going to kick it back out to Erickson and set things up.
Good decision, good decision.
He's smart with the basketball. Let's move the ball.
Hillary Howard shoots. Rebound, Peppy Brown. She puts it down and goes back up. No. Connecticut ball.
When you get opportunities like that, Peppy, you really got to knock the ball down.
You got to finish.
You got to finish.
Swin Cash from just in front of the free throw line. No. Battle for the rebound. Ooh, and a shoulder problem for Van Gorp.
Looks like she almost kind of hyperextended her shoulder a little bit.
Look at her. She's still rubbing it and shaking it off. Peppy Brown looking at Paige Sauer.
Boy, what a slap.
And said, now you look at this.
Oh, yeah. She said, look, I'm not going to miss that shot twice in a row.
And sticking in that 1-3-1 zone, Duke is trying to encourage UConn to hit the outside shot.
You know what? Sit back in that zone. And like Coach Oriema said, you can't turn the ball over like that. But what Coach Oriema said is if this team sits back in the zone, we've got to make our shots. That is what's going to concern them, is if UConn can't knock them down.
Coach Geston-Kors is giving some lip to Lisa Mattingly, the referee, wanting some calls underneath there. She was unhappy that Van Gorp didn't get some assistance there when she got her shoulder pulled out, I guess.
Well, if it's still attached, she can still play.
Durant,
rub some dirt on it. Good on it.
Tamika Williams. 6 points for Williams, the outstanding freshman. Let's take another look at what happened to Michelle Van Gorp.
Well, she just
In
simply,
blue,
yeah, she got
reaching up.
locked up right there.
On Abrosimova. Oh, there you can see it afterwards. It got her. Nothing really clear that Abrosimova did. They were both cleanly hustling for the ball. Underhanded Rice, no. Abrosimova with the rebound. Looking ahead, goes behind the back. Mistake. Van Gorp was there. Van Gorp gets whistled.
I got a I'm
didn't
trying.
understand that foul
I'm really
kinda
trying.
quiet,
I'm really trying here because that's one of those fouls. That's a third. You know, that's the kind of foul that a coach just absolutely hates. That your big player gets in transition.
So you're saying it's a bad call on the
I'm not
official.
saying it was a bad call. I'm saying that it didn't really interrupt the flow of the offensive player. Therefore, it shouldn't have been called.
The travel on Abrosimova. Not many mistakes by her, but that was one of them. Look at the pro life for the Stanford, Connecticut, Arkansas, and Duke players. Stanford has 13 professional players, 4 in the WNBA. Connecticut, 6, 3 in the WNBA. Of course, the other league being the American Basketball League, the ABL. Nice opportunities for women to stay in the United States and play professionally and get a paycheck.
Hey, just give Tennessee time. Give Tennessee time.
We'll have a few more.
Yeah.
Well, give Connecticut time. Looks like they're going to have a few up there, too.
Yeah,
in a couple more years.
But right now, Duke doing a very good job. They're getting the open looks at the basket, Reggie. They're just simply not closing on them.
And this time looks like they got Lauren Rice.
There's going to become a point in time in this game when Duke is really going to look at one another, and UConn is going to try and break that will, Cheryl. And right now, with a 16-point lead and the ongoing of pressure, sooner or later, Duke is going to give into that pressure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if UConn, being young again, if they're able to close out a team.
Well, both teams are playing real sloppy at the start of this second half. UConn was crisp to the start of the game, and this is a great opportunity for Duke to really get back in the game when UConn's playing so badly.
55-39, 17 minutes left in the ball game. Duke has the ball, has to go all the way. Biggest problem for them has been Svetlana Abrosimova for Connecticut. She has 14 points and 7 rebounds.
Well, she was so active on the offensive boards in the first half.
Gorp gives it back to Lauren Rice. Here comes the trap. She presses and breaks that. Van Gorp looking, moves in a little closer, takes a switch.
You know, the one thing that I would like to see Van Gorp do more is be aggressive. With 6 points, she's got to be a little more aggressive and want the ball. Peppy Brown is making a lot of the post moves, but if I'm Van Gorp, I got to say, hey, look, Peppy, I'm 6'6", I'm the go-to player in the middle. Come on, Shorty, stay up there on the perimeter and let me get my inside game established.
So you big people do call him Shorty.
Yes, a little bit.
I knew it all along. Good hands by Duke.
Every opportunity Duke gets here now, they've got to convert, especially on these turnovers.
Being selective in the transition. Hey, things like that happen. That's a good, aggressive move by Howard.
Still a 14-point ball game, 55-41.
They just need that one basket to break 14 points.
Hillary Howard is whistled for the foul. In the shooting department, Hillary Howard is 0 for 4. Does that hurt?
Yeah, but look at the strength.
Look at the ball fake right
did
there.
You see that, Tamika Williams? She's just taking everybody up with her.
Old Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Boy, did you see
the guy faking.
Yeah.
Nice move there, Tamika. Player of the year in high school. All everything. Consensus first team All-American.
2 fouls on Hillary Howard. Shea Ruff back in the game for Sue Bird. Looks like her knee's holding up all right.
Yeah, she looks good. Dayton, Ohio.
6'2". Van Gorp looking for some
There you
help.
go. There you go. Got to get back. Somebody needs some help.
Let's see Van Gorp dribbling too much. You don't want to.
Take her off the dribble, Peppy.
Paige Sauer with the rebound. Up to Svetlana. Quick first step by Svetlana Abrosimova. Russian national team member.
Wow, nice move.
Gets a lot of rim there.
Yeah.
What I like
16
about what
points.
you did right there is kept the ball in the middle.
Yeah.
A lot of you point guards out there, make the defense guard you all the way up until the last moment.
Not only point guards, but if you're in transition, keep the ball in the middle. There you go. Take it all the way strong to the basket. There you go.
Yes.
That's what you want to see out of a big girl. It's nice to see someone at 6'6" be able to step out and knock down the free throw shot. But what I want to see is my big girl putting the ball on the floor, taking it to the rack with authority.
3 fouls for Paige Sauer.
Look at that again. There you go. There you go, Van Gorp. Take it up. Absorb the contact and finish. And she needed that.
Paige Sauer had nothing but to foul her on that. She was beaten so bad.
Give up the 2
by
points.
Van Gorp.
Give up the 2 points. Don't give up a foul.
8 points and 3 rebounds for Van Gorp.
And if you do foul Reggie,
take her arm up.
There you go.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Oh, Svetlana can't get to that pass. That was a little too high over her head. A reminder, you are watching the Nike Lifetime 4 in the Fall Tournament presented by Secret. This is the Duke-Connecticut game, number 3 against number 4. Coming up next, Connecticut will have to wait to see who wins against Stanford and Arkansas.
I think it's important to diversify, so I talked to a financial advisor. I learned that there was more opportunity in bond funds than I ever realized.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Listen here, baby. I have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Now you can get $750 cash back or 1.9% APR financing on a new 99 Sunfire Cooper sedan. A hot set of wheels with money left to burn. Sunfire. See it at your Pontiac dealer today.
Your sister's not the problem. I just don't want to spend 2 weeks cooped up with the rest of your family. You're both... No.
What? Are you all right?
So, Chris, have you ever had trouble finding someone's phone number?
Oh, yeah, especially when I don't know the area code.
Well, you're going to love 1010-9000, the only number you need for directory assistance.
Now, how's it work?
Just dial 1010-9000, tell the operator whose number you want and where they live. That's all there is to it.
Sounds easy.
They'll even dial it for you with no connection charge.
They thought of everything.
It was my idea. 1010-9000, directory assistance for everyone in America.
I've always been self-employed, so it bugged me that I didn't have a retirement plan. My financial advisor helped me put one together with Oppenheimer Funds.
Oppenheimer Funds, the right way to invest.
Victoria Principal learned the ropes the hard way.
I knew that there were rules. I had no idea what they were.
A lesson that drove her to success. Intimate Portrait, Victoria Principal. Premiering tomorrow night at 10 on Lifetime.
Welcome back, and this little fella's gesturing. He's at the #1 sport in America, women's college basketball.
There
Right
you
on,
go.
little buddy.
There you go, young fella.
Veterans for the Blue Devils. Look at the career starts. Hillary Howard, 74. Nicole Erickson, Peyton Black. I mean, look at these numbers. Do they have a veteran team or what? But who's leading the scoring for these veterans?
Who's leading the score right now is a freshman. I mean, you've got Gingrich, who's been playing extremely well for him, but then you look at UConn and the youth movement that they're having.
Fab 5. That really does mean a lot. But when you get that top recruiting class in the nation to pay dividends for you like Gino has.
We saw the turnover story. Duke protecting the ball a little better so far in the second half.
Yeah, they've done a better job.
Connecticut with 5 turnovers. Well, here comes one now for Duke. Make that 2.
Risky pass by Van Gorp, throwing it across the middle with all those roving hands.
Duran goes for 3 and doesn't get it. Tamika Williams puts it back.
You know, you guys are, There is a battle underneath right now going on between Tamika Williams and Van Gorp. And Tamika Williams is doing a heck of a job of keeping Van Gorp off of the offensive boards.
Tamika Williams stands 6'2". Van Gorp stands 6'6".
Oh, nice shot.
Turnaround move there.
Nice shot. But down here at the offensive end, that's what I want to see Van Gorp really. She's got to turn it up an extra notch. Be more aggressive. Be more aggressive.
For sure.
She has 10 points. She averaged 10 points last year, so she is stepping up.
Her having 3 fouls, is that kind of prohibiting her a little bit?
Well, no, not at all. Not at all, because what happens is as an offensive player on the boards, especially, you can spin, you can move. Don't settle for just standing there when a person just puts the initial body on you.
Erickson looking for help. They're going to get him for the 3 seconds in the lane. That's a tough call to take in a game like this. 62-45 as Sue Bird checks back in for Amy Duran. I'll tell you who you don't want the ball to go to. It's Duke. You don't want it to go to Abrosimova. She's 3 for 3 in the second half, and she has 18 points. They can shut her down.
Yeah. And she really moves well without the ball. That's what I really like about her game.
Women's basketball, that is so key because there's so much, even though they're calling a lot of hand checks, there's so much hands-on basketball. If you can move without the basketball.
Wow, that's her 4th. That could be her 4th.
There comes the question now for Coach Desmond Kors. What does
now what do you do?
She do with...
Oh, you've got to bring her out. There's no question about it.
Tough call. Right now, she's the only one that's providing offensive flow.
I understand that. Then you have to go to a zone. You have to go to a zone and hope that your senior understands that she has to be very, very smart at the defensive end.
Here comes Peyton Black, subbing in right now. Let's see if she heads on out.
Yep, there goes Van Gorp. And our preseason Big East Rookie of the Year, Tamika Williams, just knocked down her 10th point. Nice way to start your college career. Double digits, first game.
Something definitely to build on for this young UConn team. Playing a tough schedule. If they are fortunate to move on for tomorrow's final game, they go down to UCLA, who's ranked in the top 5.
Expected to win the Pac-10.
Duke, meanwhile,
well, they're having a tough time finding any type of passing lane, and that's because of just the aggressive and activeness
of
this UConn defense. They're just active. They're everywhere, Reggie.
Look at her. 13 points, puts it up with 2 hands. You know, Connecticut had a preseason exhibition game against the Russian junior national team, and they won 65-45.
Look at that.
Against Lithuania, 106-50.
Oh, look at that. Spin move.
I told you, there was going to become a point in time in this game when UConn was going to put the pressure on Duke and see if Duke was going to quit. Not necessarily saying that they're quitting right now, but that is a lot of pressure.
Hey, Reggie, first of all, is there any doubt that Shea Ralph is back with the spin move? How strong do you have to be to get hit like that, Reg, on the baseline?
And finish.
Gail Gustenkers has called for a timeout, so we're going to take this time to go to Armora Driscoll.
All right, thanks, Leandra. I'm here with Charlotte Smith, who played at North Carolina, and we all remember you for that famous three-point shot at the buzzer to win the national championship for the Tar Heels in 1994. What was that moment like for you?
I mean, it was like a dream come true, because when I was growing up, I used to always be in my backyard, you know, doing the countdown, 10, 9, 8, and just dreaming of winning a championship. And so it was just, I mean, it was the greatest feeling in the world.
You now play for the San Jose Lasers of the ABL right here in this building. You play a few games. You're coming off an injury. How is your hip injury lately?
Oh, it's doing great. I was back yesterday for the first time, and I played for 11 minutes just to see how it was going to feel. And I mean, it feels great, so hopefully I'll come back strong Sunday.
A lot of people are talking about the NBA lockout and how it may help the ABL in terms of fan support. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I've heard a lot of people say that, you know, once the lockout started, they canceled the season tickets and got season tickets for the Lasers. So I think, you know, it'll be a great thing, and hopefully we'll get a television contract, and it'll just make things a lot better.
Well, the NBA lockout helped us because of two friends, and let's go over there now.
Come on, Charlotte. You just a frighter for people not to come back to the
Patrick
game.
Brown gets the drop and draws the foul.
You know, know, the good thing about Duke right now, it would be very, very easy to just scrap this game, you know, hold your, you know, hang your head, and then to stop playing. But they're going to continue to fight because that is how they take on the mentality of their coach, and you got to give her a lot of credit.
Okay, Peppy Brown makes the basket. That was on Swin Cash's first foul in this ball game. Shea Ralph drives right into Duke.
Listen to Gino.
Woo! And Shea Ralph was called for the foul, and Gino lights it up.
Hey, Lisa Mattingly, all you have to do is look at her wrong, and she'll tee you up. I should know. She cost me at least 2,000 in WNBA. That I know.
I was wondering if you were speaking from experience there. Good look at Gino.
And we got the technical now, so Gingrich will go to the line and shoot.
Yeah, but this is what I like to see from a coach. And there's a method to the madness. Gino is up big. The team is playing well. They're closing out Duke. What is, you know, people are in the stands are probably saying, why is he upset? Why is he getting upset?
Do you think Shea Ralph charged?
Oh, yeah, I think it would. Well, you know what? I'd like to see another shot of it. But I'm defending the coach getting a technical because as a player, they have to see that their coach is defending. And it will go to bat for him.
All right. I think she charged.
Well, you know, she puts her head down right now, and Peyton Black just comes right over.
Well, no, Gino had a good gripe.
Yeah, I
Gino
just
had
saw
a
her
good
foot.
gripe.
You know, when you take another look at it, you can see how she really
She
stepped
was
in there.
moving. There was a hip still there. She wasn't completely square on that. Gino had a good one.
The three by Gingrich, no good. The putback by Black is 69-52, 17 points between Duke and Connecticut.
The wonderful thing about technicals as a head coach in college basketball, it's free.
We'll take another look at Shea Ralph as she spins around and takes it in. She's lighting up the UConn team that doesn't need lighting up.
I ain't your chick, I ain't your squeeze, I ain't. The title of the album is Everything's Gonna Be Alright, because it is. You still shake me. It's such a diverse piece of work. There's something in there for everybody. I think this album mirror images the first album a little bit, but I feel like it's kind of the next step. I mean, we've all been through 2 more years of stuff.
Dina Carter, Everything's Gonna Be All Right. Get yours at Kmart for just $11.88.
Listen here, baby. I have only one a burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire.
Now you can get $750 cash back or 1.9% APR financing on a new 99 Sunfire Cooper sedan. A hot set of wheels with money left to burn. Sunfire. See it at your Pontiac dealer today.
Now that's a classic.
Hey, I admire your taste as well.
Thanks. It's all original. In fact, I got 2 of them.
Same here.
Care to swap one?
Sure, thanks.
So, you know whose cars these are?
No idea.
Now at McDonald's, you can get 2 classics for just $2.22. 2 big, juicy quarter-pounder with cheese sandwiches or 2 original filet-o-fish sandwiches. Or one of each for $2.22. So drive on in today. Did somebody say McDonald's?
You haven't lived until you've cruised. For your free vacation planner, call toll-free 1-888-WHY-CRUISE.
When you love the one you're with,
Joe's terrific. He's just...
but can't forget that other guy,
You look good.
So do you.
be careful what you wish for. Molly Ringwald, Twice Upon a Time. Sunday at 6 on Lifetime.
Welcome back. Bright eyes, smiling faces, and a waving crowd. And that is because this is women's college basketball here on Lifetime. And coming up, this young lady might want to look for a monitor because the 4 on the Floor between games show includes the Women's Health Symposium. We have a recap of that. Lisa Leslie, Christine Brennan, and Mary Murphy talk the talk with our Maura Driscoll. And we also have a profile of the 1996 Olympic coach and current head coach at Stanford University, Tara Vanderveer.
A kinder, gentler Tara Vanderveer.
Yes, she's very animated today at shoot-around.
Yes.
20 points now for Abrosimova. Connecticut keeps the pressure up. Van Gorp back in the game. Peppy Brown. Fraction that was Lauren Rice back in the game, who gets the basket there.
Good ball movement on Duke's part.
Good pass by Hillary Howard.
9 points for Lauren Rice. Good look down low to Svetlana. You give her the ball, she's going to shoot. Bird gets it back. Duran, no.
Wow.
Jones with the rebound and attempt to put it back. And
there you go. Peppy Brown taking the ball down with authority.
71-54, 11 minutes left in the ball game. If you're just joining us, this is number 4 Duke against number 3 Connecticut. Flying elbows called against Duke.
Peyton
The
Black.
third foul on Peyton Black.
Peyton Black trying to establish position down low on Asia Jones. A little bit too aggressive.
You know, something else we didn't bring up in this preseason telecast. It is a preseason game. It does count in the win-loss column. A preseason game also counts for your personal stats. What a preseason game doesn't factor into as heavily, if it's considered at all, is at the end of the season when they start making those invitations to the NCAA tournament.
This is definitely a great experience for all the teams to be playing against ranked teams to see where you match and stack up to.
Yep, a way to carve your teeth.
You know, Tara Vanderveer said something very good, too, when we spoke with her yesterday. She said, we'd be practicing if we didn't have these 2-3 games. And this is much better. You learn a lot more than practicing.
Good give and go right there.
Oh, good kickoff by Peyton Black. She's on my all-name team. Peppy Brown, Peyton Black. Bet with the strip. But she stepped up.
Well, what great position Abrosimova had. I mean, she made sure both hands up. Tower.
You're still going to Abrosimova. I've gone to Svet. Abrosimova.
Abrosimova.
By the time I say it, they're scoring the other way, so I've gone to Svet.
Good hands there by Peyton Black. Getting the ball up to Lauren Rice.
Oh, she's good
Gosh,
position.
Look at her second gear. Did you see her just, you know, shift gears and get ahead of her? Rice steps out.
Well, there's 10 minutes left in this ball game. We're back to the old adage. They're 15 points down, Duke is. And they got a chance here to cut it to 13 and even possibly 12 on the three-pointer. They're still not out of it.
Peyton Black uses the backboard.
Last couple of possessions, Reggie, Duke has really done a good job of executing in their half-court offense. Now what they have to do is get the job done on the defensive end, and you can't allow UConn to get second and third attempts.
Second shots will always kill you no matter what level you're at.
4 fouls now on Peyton Black. This is big problem. Big problem for Duke.
You got 4 fouls on Peyton Black,
And
4
Van
fouls on Michelle Van Gorp. It looks like Van Gorp is coming back into the game with 10-10 left on the clock.
That's 5 fouls on Peyton Black. Now they've got to go back to Gorp.
Well, this is the time that Coach Gail Gestencourt starts to look at the end of the bench and wondering.
Peyton Black looked at Van Gorp and said, don't you foul out.
Yeah. And you can see she's complaining about it. She ends the day with 7 points.
Solid on the defensive end. Rebounded fairly well. Pleading her case to her teammates. Those are usually the best shoulders to cry on.
The only ones that'll listen.
And the table said you should have shot a 1-and-1. The team fouls should have put her at the line. That's a preseason for everyone. The scorekeeper, the refs.
The announcers.
Yeah.
Everyone.
That is true.
The announcers.
Hey, but we didn't tell them not to do the one-on-one. This is their problem. I'm not taking the hit for this. I don't mind taking a bullet, but not this one.
I understand.
Okay, so we're going to rectify this quickly. Swin Cash will go to the line and shoot the 1-and-1.
6 free throws right here, especially at the tip of the missing the one-on-one. Duke can get the rebound and score. It'll be a brand new ball game
they're
here.
certainly not out of this. even if she makes both, they're still not out. There's too much time on the clock.
4 for 4 from the line for Swin Cash. Is she showing it all, or is she showing it all? 12 points, 4 for 4 from the line.
Pepe's done a good job of really breaking the press.
Gingrich tries to get it back. It's swatted. And guess what? It's goodbye to the other big girl, Paige Sauer.
Sauer didn't even have to swipe it, but all she had to do...
Well, she blocked it with her elbow, it looked
Well,
like.
she didn't know. That's all she had to do. If she would have just gone straight up on this block, it would have been a clean block. But what she does, she swipes down. It's an intimidation block.
Oh, you used to do that a lot. I saw a lot of games when you did that, Cheryl Dean.
Wasn't it?
Here comes another wave. Paige Sauer out. The high school player of the year, Tamika Williams in.
Comes in.
Got another freshman and Swin Case on the other side, sophomore.
Krista Gingrich, 5 for 5 from the line, going for a 13th point here. Nothing but net.
It's a 12-point ball game right now.
There you go.
Get a couple stops here. You really got to give Duke credit.
There we go.
Turnover.
There you go.
Yep. All right, coming up in December, Lifetime Sports is proud to bring you Seasons of Joy, the gift of sports. Meet the 1998 Women's Sports Foundation Women of the Year as we honor them and celebrate their outstanding achievements. Hear from celebrity guests as well as the athletes who move and inspire us all. It's the Season of Joy coming December 27th right here on Lifetime Television for women.
That's wonderful. You'll be able to watch that. Oh, that's right. You won't be played by
What'd you say? It's the first time in 11 years you guys might be celebrating Christmas together? Van Gorp rejected by Swin Cash.
That was a big block right there by Swin Cash. And that's an even bigger three-pointer by the freshman, Sue Bird.
That's her first basket of the ball game. For a second half, right out of her hands.
Great
Cash again. 75-60, 15 points.
Freshmen are really starting to take over right now.
9 minutes left. Vet looking this way and that way, but she took a few too many steps to get this way and that way.
And Gino is saying, pass
the ball.
Abrasamova is just
there's
great block right there.
Across. There you go. Drop, step, and strong. Keep the ball up.
Remember, Swin Cash is 6'2". Michelle Van Gorp is 6'6", and Cash has just been all over her.
That's it. Is that it for her?
That should be for
Van Gorp. Van Gorp.
5 fouls on Van Gorp.
And now they lose their other big player.
It was a good call.
And
she
that
was straight
just,
ball over her.
6'6" and 6'4" out of the game for Duke, and Gino still reading the riot act to Svetlana.
Oh, he's a little upset because he had someone posted up, had the player sealed, and Svet decides to go ahead and put up a shot.
Well, it's good to know that Gino doesn't play favorites. So.
No.
Never has. Never has. When you're wrong, you're wrong.
He's looking to see who they're going to put in, how they're going to solve this problem so he can figure out his matchup. A reminder, www.lifetimetv.com. You can talk to Mary Murphy live on the World Wide Web. Lifetimetv.com. And you can see it. She's
She would like to know what Mary would be out there typing all the time.
I think she's probably getting a lot of hits. I'd say so.
Answering a lot of questions.
You on this telecast alone, Cheryl.
Yes, I'm sure you're
controversial.
A lot of response. Tamika Williams misses the one-and-one opportunity, but it ends up in Connecticut's hands anyway. 75-60, 8.5 minutes remain in this ball game. Two players have fouled out for Duke. Tamika Williams driving strong, softly sets it in.
Oh, what great composure, body control.
15 points for her. Parade National Player of the Year, USA Today Player of the Year, traveling when she went down to her knees.
You know what this young UConn team has done? They have taken a very season
And poise.
Yes. Point guard in Nicole Erickson, and has made her day absolute nightmare. That's difficult to do.
Sue Bird pulls up and pops it down. She now has 5 points. Both of her baskets coming in the second half. Erickson has Shea Ralph all over her. Shea Ralph looking very strong. Double ACL surgery. She's back as good as ever. Erickson got slapped in the face by Shea Ralph, and guess who was there to see that?
Shea Ralph picking up her fourth foul.
Her third.
Her third foul. Well, her fourth foul.
Nope, that's her fourth.
She's got to be excited. She says, I don't care if I foul out. I'm just glad to actually be back here,
and feeling
out
good.
here on the court.
Feeling good.
And she's got to feel good about a lot of things. She did some. She had her explosion. She knocked down some perimeter shots, drove to the basket, made some strong moves. What a weapon coming off the bench.
Erickson's been 4 for 5 from the line. Five for 6. It's 79-61 ball game, and the reason why Connecticut's so good, their freshman class. Check out Tamika Williams and these moves and the concentration from her.
Been making my chunky chicken pot pie. It's back at KFC. Flaky crust, chunks of chicken, loads of veggies, just $3.99 with a drink. Now that's some meal. So come on in and bring your appetite.
Your sister's not the problem. I just don't want to spend 2 weeks cooped up with the rest of your family. You're both... No.
What? Are you all right?
Rotation.
Video games don't just blast through your batteries.
More batteries.
They blast through your money. That's why you should arm yours with Rayovac Maximum Alkaline. They pack long-lasting alkaline power but cost less, so you can buy more games.
How about a little one-on-one?
Get the Maximum. Rayovac Maximum.
It all began with its solid form design. Now that design is achieving some very solid results, presenting the most solid Grand Am ever for the most solid ride of your life. And now Grand Am has been ranked the most appealing entry midsize car by J.D. Power & Associates. It's excitement, well-built. Grand Am by Pontiac. Get into a well-equipped Grand Am today for only $229 a month and drive away with one solid deal.
Looks like your oven's a little hot.
It has a mind of its own.
Well, Sears has all appliances.